Hey everybody. Uh, so I woke up this morning and I had a message for me on, or a comment on Instagram from some guy. I'm gonna assume he's a guy. His profile didn't say, but um, he was asking about an actress that I had worked with several years ago, and um, he just was like, the comment was a little strange. I don't know. I was a little bit tired, and it said something to the effect of like, "Who is this?" And I commented back, and I kind of was like, "Who are you?" Again, not really thinking too clearly because I was, half awake. And he commented back that he was looking for to get in touch with her, and that he had, who she and some work or something. It was just strange, sketchy a little bit. So I woke up a little bit more and then I commented back and I just was like, who are you? Like, what's even like kind of a, not a nice message back, I guess. And, he just kept saying, he's like, I've worked for her, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, like, go through the right channels then. And he's like, well, what are those channels? And good night. I just basically I wasn't kind at that point. And as you shouldn't be. I just told him to buzz off, using a different word. And he comments back with that be kind. This is social media, yada yada yada. I maybe am overreacting to some of that stuff, but and maybe reading into it, maybe it's just a troll. Maybe I don't know, but. It just struck me as being super sketchy and super weird. So before I deleted, like, blocked him from the account, I just glanced at his profile and, screenshotted it. And then, out of curiosity, I just clicked on who are his friends. And I noticed that, like, all of his new friends were blonde women that were from my, um, profile. And I just was like, oh, good grief, this is so sketchy. So I did send messages to the people that he had followed from my account, and just let them know that this guy is super creepy and what was going on. At least from my perspective. Again, I don't know. I could be reading into this, but so they blocked him and did what they needed to do as well. And it was a good reminder to me. It was just like, like, what am I putting out on my social media? What can people do with this information? Because it's kind of that age old scam. Not age old. It's. I suppose it probably could be, but that thing where it's like, oh, hey, I know Paul, and when you start using my name, and it just opens those doors, and and vice versa. I'm sure everybody watching, it's like, if somebody comes up to you and uses your cousin's name or somebody that you know, or your an actor that you've worked with before, their name, and you kind of like, I don't know. I can see where it just starts to get really sketchy. um, which this is kind of going to go down along this rabbit trail because it's where my brain is going. But like, as an actor, when I was first starting out, I think had somebody reached out to me in that way, I probably wouldn't have maybe thought about it as much. Oh my gosh, and as an actor who started out, I know how hungry we all get, and it's just like, oh, I want work, and you want it so bad. But I really would encourage people, like, nip that in the bud, and just focus on doing good work. I know that sometimes it takes a while, but it will come. Have some self-respect, have some self-worth. If you don't have those things, this might not be the place to start in acting. Yeah, because it's really easy to be used and abused and kind of chewed up and spit out. I guess it's a harsh thing to say, but I do know that there's a lot of people that are out there to prey upon that. So, word of caution, I guess. While also, like, there's amazing things that you can do. Some things that I highly, highly, highly recommend. If you are an actor that's just starting out and don't have a lot of credits or anything like that, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be approaching agents. You definitely should. Find some entry level agents. Um, in the Twin Cities, I myself work with a wonderful agency called More Creative Talent. I didn't start there. I did not start. They're one of the top tier agents in the cities. I'm so pleased to work with them. They are great. And There's a lot of agents though that are, for people that are just kind of starting out. There's a lot of agents that are mid-tier. It's all those types of things. I'm mentioning this too, like if somebody on Instagram was to reach out to me that I didn't know and say I have work, I'd be like, go talk to my agent, and have the agent vet that project or have them talk to them and stuff, because I don't need to be giving out my phone number. I don't need to be giving out any of that kind of information. That information should be kept private. So I'm probably preaching to the choir in many ways. I'm sure a lot of you watching this are like maybe rolling your eyes at some of this because it's really basic, but I'm hoping that there's little nuggets here and there. The other thing too, like more creative, is a SAG franchise agent, which is awesome because working with the union has been really beneficial for myself, not only in getting like some residuals and stuff like that, but really looking out for my well-being, while scheduling, while working on film sets and just different things like that. Like there's a structure and there's rules to it, and you can't just, you can't have, I don't know. It really helps to keep the riffraff away as well, as far as like auditioning and just different projects and what you can and cannot do. It's like somebody took the time to actually think through some of these steps. I have heard recently that there has been this isn't new. I know that this has happened since the dawn of time, unfortunately, that men that they get taken advantage of, sexually, monetarily, just horrible things. The film and TV industry isn't, immune to that. So be smart. And I'm kind of going off on a rabbit trail. What I was trying to say is recently in the Twin Cities, I've heard of like some photographers and just some different things like that, where it's been some women coming forward, even and just terrible things that happen to them. Rape, some terribly sketchy things. Oh my gosh, so like people, men, photographers, everybody, you should not be doing that. That is 100% terrible. It's 100% wrong. For the context of this video, I guess kind of what I'm getting at is for performers to also take ownership of who you are and not to allow yourself to be put into situations where you are putting yourself at risk. I am not like condoning or promoting or saying that I just don't want this to be taken in the wrong way. I'm not saying that people that have been assaulted or anything like that it is their fault. I am just saying, please think it through and like think of it like a business. There are business hours that general people work. If you're being called and you want to go to a set or something at a weird hour and you don't know the people or something like that, run. Anyhow, I hope that this is information that is useful, but maybe a good reminder. Like I said, some of this stuff, it might be a no-brainer, but I just wanted to share it because it kind of happened and I was like thinking about it. So what do you guys think? Has any weird, sketchy things happened to you? How did you handle it? I'm curious. If you want to share, or is there any other tips that maybe I didn't mention that you are like, oh my gosh, go ahead and share them. I'd be curious to hear. Thanks.